All right, welcome. Good evening, everyone, on another podcast. Excuse me, it's been a long day. I'm talking crazy, got my words twisted, but thank you guys for tuning in for another podcast this evening. I am your host and film director, Nita K. We have a special interview this evening. One of my best brand ambassadors. We have Aaron Yates. We're going to be talking to him this evening about his film career and the Chicago shows that he's been in, all of his experiences, even outside of Nita K Productions. I'm going to have him introduce himself, give us some background information about him from how he started his career, and we're going to get into the interview.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
Aaron,
thank
let everybody know about yourself.
yes, thank you, Nita. What's going on, everyone? I am Aaron Yates, and um, well, I've been at it in terms of filming and acting for the past few years now, give or take. And so this is something that I actually been started a while ago. I would say back in high school and doing some theater in college, and so I kind of went away from it, and so through a good piece of my adult life, but yeah, but things kind of swerved around. I'm back up in and trying to essentially be serious about my craft and kind of be a quintessential successful working actor.
Okay. Now, my first question to you is, when did it happen, or tell us your experience where you like, you know what, I need to get serious. This is something I want to make a career out of. I gotta really start putting my work into this. Like, when did that epiphany happen for you?
Well, an opportunity presented itself for me to start doing background work, to be a background actor for starting with the season 4 the shot. So that's how I pretty much kind of got back into the fold of things. And so with after that, kind of, I guess you could say the rest is history, essentially, because like season 5 I was part of the core background of that show, and I've pretty much been on there ever since. And earlier, I wouldn't say just finished filming season 7 of that show, so that's slated to come out sometime next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So you started. So your epiphany happened. That was the first show you did, was The Shine, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then after you did The Shine, like, other opportunities obviously came about. But what were the other opportunities that came about as far as you starting your film career?
Just I would say also there's, well, for some people that know or don't know, there's quite a bit that happens here in Chicago in terms of films and TV shows that are filmed out here. And so I did and I've been on quite a few of them. The one Chicago shows, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, and so I've filmed for those shows. I would say probably the past few years, a few other shows as well. The popular one, this is it's season 2 and 3, and Power for season 2, and the upcoming second season of that show is just going to come out next year. Yeah, there's been a few other things here and there that been able to film for, and then of course linking up with yourself and in terms of doing doing roles with speaking. So
Right.
so yeah, so these are you know with other people I've been which is pretty key when it comes to the film industry.
Yeah.
Trying to essentially put myself out there and kind of establish myself and kind of get into something more substantial, essentially. So yeah.
Absolutely, man. So I know you've been doing other work besides Nita K Productions, but can you tell the audience like how you started with Nita K Productions, what your experience has been, what your experience has been as one of the brand ambassadors, what your experience has been with some of our projects that we've been working on, and the people that we've encountered, like the whole overall experience. Can you tell our listeners like what is it that you have went through or an experience with our company?
Yeah, meet you at the is it career house
Yes.
season 3 of the house and
Yes.
and film for that as well. And so yeah, just I think that just being with Nita K Productions pretty much essentially from the beginning, this definitely has been an experience just in terms of and I definitely appreciate the opportunity that you bestowed upon me in terms of working with you in within the company, and also and working with with the others that are here, and even those that kind of came and went. So and with the film Perpendicular Hotel, and even with working with the some of the other upcoming projects, Chicago Boogie and House of Tea, and some of the other events that we have had the past couple of years within the company, and so it has led me to meeting, networking, and working with
Right.
with a lot of great people, and such as Danielle, who actually I actually was able to. She has a short film, horror film that's in the works, and I don't
Yes. Shout
recall
out to you.
yes, I don't recall the title of it exactly. So me and her and Mary Jo, and so and I actually have a role in which that's the actual voiceover role for the film. So I know that's something that she's currently working on the post production tip, and I know she's trying to put it out there in the festivals and that sort of thing. So yeah, man.
Man, you've been doing a whole lot. So besides doing, film projects with NK Productions, film projects with the One Chicago shows, tell me what your experience has been like actually on set. Like, what is the like craziest thing you've seen happen on set?
There's a lot of crazy things that can happen on set, I would say pending the show and what's been going on for the most part. So I've dealt with some stuff, I would say, in the most recent with Chicago Fire, in terms of seeing some of the special effects that happens, in terms of there was something that it seemed that I did for them not so long ago for an episode where there was like a lot of smoke that was involved, so like
Yeah.
and also kind of I want to say offset. Saw the I saw them kind of testing, working with pyro techniques. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the standard. But yeah, so they were just kind of working.
Stop playing games, I still remain. Hold it down, I switch your lanes. Don't just up the spark your
Okay.
point. I ain't even trying to start.
And so, and I don't know if it's been put out there. I mean, it's probably coming. I would say in definitely next year for certain because they just recently had their mid-season fall finales. But
Okay.
the one Chicago shows are about to do a crossover event, which is something that hasn't happened for probably quite a few years now. So, so between the crossover event between Chicago Med, Fire, and PD. So I don't know the specifics, but I know that that's something that is coming up that is in the works. So yeah.
Yeah, man, they have not done it. It's been a couple years where they did the crossover where all three of the shows were like intertwined with each other. Those shows are already connected. Chicago Med, Chicago PD, and Chicago Fire. But with them being intertwined like that, the last time I seen it was a few years ago where they were like, you would see one character from the other show and it's just crazy. So that's super cool. And then besides this one Chicago shows, Nita K Productions, your experience and stuff that you've seen, like what has your experience? Have you had like interaction with any directors? Like, have you had any good and bad experience with film directors on any of the sets that you've ever been on?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I don't even specify a director per se. It might be I would just kind of say production as a whole. I've had some I would say the lackluster and experiences have been kind of few and far in between. But with doing background work for these major shows and films, what tends to happen is that you at times get to do. There's a lot of seeing and waiting, so just in terms of scenes, and that happens for different reasons. Just in terms of production, trying to coordinate things and figure out what it is that they're going to do in terms of moving forward with said production and stuff like that. And so, you with all professions, you're going to come across, and just as is life, you're going to come across individuals that's just good and bad. And so, I mean, I've definitely dealt with a few people in productions, PAs, productions assistants, and even other background actors, actresses that have been, I would say, a bit difficult. And I would say actually the one thing that kind of stands out, and I'm not going to mention the specific production, but it was one that involved children. And so, and it is what it is, I'm saying, children, kids are going to be kids. And so, and it wasn't, there was no issues with the actual child actors and actresses, but it was some of the it was more so just just dealing with some of the other children, and some of them, like I said, some of them were a bit excessive, and then their parents, their parents were there and stuff, but but some these parents aren't the best of individuals,
You
their
said they
damn
not
self
the
or whatever.
best.
So so that kind of brought about some difficulty in terms of just doing things with in terms of the production just
Right.
in
They
general.
weren't
So
loud. They weren't listening. They weren't sitting down and stuff.
yeah, so yeah, and it was just it wasn't a whole lot, but but I mean, it's not easy when you're working with children. So it definitely isn't easy for people that work with children for a living in terms of like education and
Yeah.
and elsewhere. So you definitely know that when it comes to like and I kind of feel bad for the PAs that have to deal with them hands on, especially like the background PAs or whatever, because
Yeah.
because like it's it's just different, what I'm saying, in terms of as opposed to working with grown people or whatever,
Right.
and they're not always good to follow directions or kind of maintain a sense of
Right.
attention. And then, in addition to that, I know that also when it comes to some children, it's probably also like their first time being in that particular setting and that sort of
Right.
stuff. So it's something that definitely takes a lot of patience.
It
And
definitely does.
yeah, and I know, and I've heard different instances where when it comes to certain actresses that can be
Mhm.
a bit excessive, but then I have yet to really see that offhand. Like I
Right.
probably saw something here and there, but yeah, but nothing too major. And for the most part, especially doing things as long as I've done,
Right.
I essentially just try to you know stay out of dodge and just kind of maintain a cool low key profile within that
Right.
aspect. So because one thing you don't want to do is be especially going with background is become a person that's difficult because you're
Uh huh.
liable to get blackballed. So
Yes.
um
Absolutely.
so
Yes.
so so yeah.
Definitely. And we're gonna touch on that too. Like, you definitely can ambush yourself into not being able to get other opportunities. I know a couple of people who didn't blackball themselves, but they end up following directions, doing what they're supposed to do, coming on time, just being an awesome background artist, and they end up getting that lead role. But I've also have seen it, not too often, like you said, where somebody messed the opportunity up for themselves. But have
Mhm.
you seen or heard, like, or not even seen or heard? I'm not gonna even say that. I'm gonna say, like, have you had to, had conversations with you being a brand ambassador, of course, for Nita K Production? Have you have to have those conversations with some other background actors or actresses? Have you had to have that conversation with them, like letting them know, like, hey, you don't want to not follow directions, come on time, whatever like that, because you don't want to make a bad name for yourself or get yourself blackballed? Have you had to have those conversations with colleagues of yours?
Yes. I'm trying. I can't really think of anything real specific in terms
Mhm.
of why I would talk to someone as far as talk to an actual individual or one
Mhm.
person. So it's been more so a thing where it was kind of collective,
Mhm.
and it's one of those things to whereas where it was more so a situation, I would say, in terms of I think with people just being essentially new uh,
Mhm.
to something like this, and just and it was definitely something to where also to where as where people may have been was was starting to production
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So it was more so something like that. So
Right.
that I recall offhand. So yeah.
Yeah. I've actually had to say it to a few people, even with Nita Productions,
Uh-huh.
but even with me
Yeah.
being on set, I've had to say it to a few people, and I know some of those people. And I'm just like, they're starting off and stuff like that. Even people that I don't know that I'm networking with, I'll just let them know, like, hey, they don't let the director or the PAs or
Hmm.
the directors hear you complaining about, oh, how long is it gonna take? Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's
Yeah.
time to go. Acting so uninterested or complaining on set, they will kick you out. They will not pay you for the day. If you come there late, they will turn you around. They don't care if you flew in. They don't care if how far you drove
Hmm.
there. You will get sent back home with no pay if you don't follow the rules or directions of the emails that they sent you and everything. Like, I've had to have those conversations with people and see. It's another reason why I'm so glad to have you as a brand ambassador with Nita Productions, because you are able and you have that experience to let people know what the do's and don'ts are on set, because you are an actor yourself.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So, with that being said, has there been a lot of times where you've had to have those hard conversations with other actors and actresses, letting them know, like, hey, I don't mind referring you to, other places, but I can't refer you because of this, that, and the third, because you've seen, their behaviors and their habits. Like, have you had to have those hard conversations?
Um, Not a whole lot. Not like that. Like only time something like that has happened is probably with if as I said before, is when someone is just when it was kind of a collective version, something that was to where individuals was new to production. But I would say that like when it comes to individuals that I know or that I may have potentially referred to, now that
Mm-hmm.
it has been a situation where situations to where I referred folks and they didn't, you know, they basically in so many instances did some engaged in some sort of behavior off the rip
Wow.
that I that essentially was embarrassing on my part and something
Right.
that was unexpected or whatever, and discussion had to be had because that's not something that I am too prone on in terms of referring people and then
Yeah.
and then they you know don't act right, and then that's the an impartial reflection upon me. So I mean,
Right.
so it, and if you're an individual that that's not gonna act right, then that's not that's not what I'm on. So and
Right. Absolutely.
I tried to let folks know for the most part, so many instances that what's going on, especially if they have an interest, and let them know what's what it involves and what it entails of, and I'm the type of person where just in general, I pretty much try to help folks out as best as I can,
Right.
and to the best of my abilities and stuff. But and because people have helped me out, so
Right.
I initiative and but yeah, if yeah, but if you're not going to, that's definitely not cool, and there's people I'm already knowing preemptively that I know that aren't serious, I'm just not going. So,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. I hear
So yeah,
that.
yeah.
I definitely hear
Hmm.
that. So my question to you is, switch it up a little bit.
Hmm.
Would you prefer doing voiceovers as a career, or would you prefer acting as a career?
Um, to me, collectively, to me, it's kind of sort of all the same. There's obvious differences because between the two, because it's still under the realm of acting. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I probably, if I had to pick between the two, it would probably be the voiceovers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
voiceovers, you're still acting, but you're behind the scene. You're not actually being seen, but you're seen out as a character of
yeah,
some
yeah,
sort, or
absolutely,
like
and
animation. So you would pick that.
yeah, and it's something that I definitely wish and want to do a bit more of. And I want to say that it is in some ways a bit easier. It's and not that I'm necessarily looking for easy, but
Right.
offhand, but it's just definitely a different type of task. And I only say easy in the sense of like uh, in the sense of like in terms of the script and lines and not having to have to worry about being off book and
Right.
and yeah, in other words, memorizing lines and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
but even though you uh, don't have that worry of having to be off book, you still have to be you know familiar with what it is that you're doing in terms of your character, and there
Right.
is a certain character. You still have to deal with character development.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and it's one of those things that collectively, when it comes to acting, that when you get if you have proper training as an actor, that is one of the things that you learn about in terms of you know character development or having familiarity with a role, scene, or
Mm-hmm.
just a production as a whole, which is which is why one of the best things for anybody that has aspirations, of being a great actor,
Mm-hmm.
when you get your best experience initially from theater,
Right.
and which is where I started, and you know, and the thing about you learn more so from theater as opposed to filming, because filming teaches you stuff, but it doesn't. It's definitely just not the same. You definitely get more because from theater, because for one, it's live. Like when you're filming something or recording something, like even voiceover, you know, there's an opportunity. If you screw up or whatever, or fumble,
Right.
saying you're able to do a retake and kind of and go back. And so with theater, not so much. So
Right.
when you're out there, you're out there in terms
Right.
of being on stage. So and and theater actors tend to do a bit better in terms of transitioning to film and TV instead of the as opposed to the other way around, especially
Right.
when it comes to us as having to trying to be off book, um, when it comes to acting, film and TV acting, and
Right.
it's like the one the one benefit I would say when it comes to the two, to theater and film,
Mm-hmm.
like theater, you definitely get your best experience, uh and it definitely develops you as an actor. But film, especially like TV, is kind of like financially the most consistent paycheck for
Mm-hmm.
the most part. Especially if you get on a show that is either that's pretty successful and has a long run, and or even like a film, and say the film becomes like a franchise situation where there's multiple
Right.
films or at least other things, but TV and all that. So
Right.
but yeah, and which kind of brings me to one thing that I have coming up that I want to mention,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, and so it's and this is something that I'm very excited about because for me personally, I haven't really been on an actual stage in a little over 20 years. So,
Mm.
I have a theater production that's coming up that I'm in, and
Okay.
it's called Cornered, and so it's going to be uh, coming up December 7th and the 8th at the Thin Theater. So we have several shows, and it is the an immersive theater experience. So
Yes,
which
man.
yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah,
I have been
mm,
seeing it on Facebook. I've been seeing you
hmm
post it a lot. I know I'm super booked. I can't even come, but I am sending my support and my love because I've been seeing it. I have shared it. I'm going to continue to share the information. You're going back to theater. Like, how does that feel? Like going back to theater after so long?
yes, it's something that's very exciting that I am looking forward to, and it's something that I and that the people that have been in the production, which this is a production from the director Tyrone Tapler, who has
Mm-hmm.
it has several storylines in this, and it's something that's going to be nice and thrilling. This is not. This is again. This is an immersive theater experience in the sense. This is not
Mm.
something to where it's traditional in the sense to whereas like, oh, you're sitting in the audience and then in front of you is a stage and people are
Right.
are acting or whatever. So we're actually, the way things are going to be set up is a black box theater, which
Mm.
with black box, if anybody is familiar with that, you know, you can kind of make it into however it is that you want. And so the audience is kind of it's almost essentially a part of the show, so to speak. And
Yeah.
so we're just pretty much all in your face for the most part. And it's just like another thing I could equate it with if you're familiar with like, we Halloween was not too long ago. Some people like, a nice thrill of going to haunted houses and things of that nature. And,
Yeah.
when you go into a haunted house uh, and you have people there that try to scare you and all that sort of thing, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much essentially where we're going to be going for. And so
Okay.
this show is just something that kind of touches on darkness and kind of explores the depth of the human psyche and inner demons that we
Mm.
all face. And so, but it's something that does have a positive message to it as well. So
Of course.
it's going to be nice and thrilling, and it's something that look forward to, and yeah, it's a couple weeks away, and tickets are on sale. So
How
and
much are
from
they?
they're on sale. I think they're about 30, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
but for all of you that are listening, if you are definitely would appreciate if you come out. The
Absolutely.
website. So there's a website that gives you all the details, and it is corneredx.com. So that's cornered. That's CORNED. So definitely appreciate the support, and so come check us out. And Sharissa, who's part of who's with Nita, she's a part of the production. She's not in it. Well, she's in it, but she's more behind the scenes. So she's
Yeah.
another person that you know of that's
Yes.
involved in it. So
Absolutely, man.
yeah.
So y'all heard Aaron. Go and get y'all tickets. Y'all heard him. It's www.corneredx.com.
Mhm.
Yes, y'all make sure y'all go get y'all tickets. The tickets are not too much. Y'all go ahead and go support Aaron Yates and go ahead and support my girl Sharissa. Please go and support them. I'm not able to make it, but I'm sending my love and support as I said. But definitely, guys, go make sure you check out his theater.
Mhm.
How long did it take? I'm just like so amazed. Like, so you haven't? I'm just jumping back into questions because now I'm getting curious. So,
Yeah.
since it's been so many years of you doing theater, like, how many months has it taken you to prep for this?
It's been a few months. I'm trying to think. I don't even. Is uh, we've probably the beginning of this year. We kind of been at it. I want to say because this was something that I auditioned for, and
Mm,
so um, I want to say probably in the spring is when we kind of got started.
okay.
So we've been at it for a while. So we've been doing. I want to say the past recent months we've been doing a little bit of fundraising
Mm-hmm.
and and like you know with this production we've had let's say our ups and downs of things but it is but it's definitely it's essentially I would say at least for me personally it's been
Mm-hmm.
a labor of love in terms of further uh honing my craft
Right.
and development as as actor as a creative and so it's been nice in terms of working with the production and working with the people and so Tyrone is an awesome person to work with and I hope that when everything is said and done that everything will be a success with this and he's done some
Yes.
other things and some he's done some filming as well and so I hope he's hope to continue to work with him in future productions and even with this one that with corner that it kind of expands beyond here and so it's pretty much the intent to possibly to very much to go on tour and that sort of thing so
Absolutely.
this is different and I assure you that any of you that are listening that likes theater and that I assure you that you have not had uh, a theatrical experience like this ever. So even in terms of even on the immersive uh, theatrical tip, in addition to black box, because actually when it comes to myself, like college, most of my experiences has been in theater has been black box, and so I've done
Mm,
different type of immersive things before, but not quite like this.
mm.
And I'll give you one example. I
Okay.
know one of the last things that I did in college was we did cabaret, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like it was in a black box, and it was kind of immersive and it was pretty cool though so because anyone that's familiar with the film or familiar with the production like
Mm-hmm.
what well there's it's a lot of dancers and it's a
Yeah.
musical and we had like the set to the theater like set up like a cabaret club and so
Mm.
like the audience they had like tables in front of it so we had actual dancers and they had poles or whatever and they were dancing in front of it like on the table just it was very much essentially in your face or whatever so it was something like that so that was a great memorable experience and
Yeah.
definitely a good time so just to kind of give you a feel
Yeah.
of what to expect just in general when dealing with immersive and black box theater. So
Man,
yeah,
that sounds so like I just was imagining as you was explaining your experience when you did Black Box before. Like I just was imagining how you were explaining it, and it's to me in my mind that sounds like so like unorthodox and like
yeah,
so cool.
yes, yes, very much so. So so if you're a person that's into like I would say scarier horror films and that's into thrills or going to like the haunted houses and stuff like that and the kind of the
Hmm.
thrill where you get from that, this is something that that you will definitely enjoy with Cornered. So
Okay,
so yeah. And some of the stuff
absolutely.
might be a bit triggering, but it's still nevertheless a good time. So so
Right.
definitely pull up, come through.
Absolutely. And so let me ask you this. This brings to my next question because you just like explained to me this like outstanding experience for Black Box Theater.
hmm
How many hours have you been? What's the longest amount of hours you've been on set for theater versus filming?
You know what? That's not something that I've even taken account of when it comes to theater, so I can't give you a definite answer on that. Now, when it comes to filming, it's definitely,
Hmm.
but it's probably not going to be too much of a difference, to be honest.
Hmm.
So, because like being on set is it can be several hours. So we're talking anywhere between 8 to 12, even 14-hour days on rare occasions, and the 14 hours is the most I actually have
Mm.
been on a set, and so yeah, so these so they're long hours, and you know being in the production, especially when it comes to film and doing it consistently, is something that is
Hmm.
not not for the weak,
No, definitely
within
not.
that aspect. So you know, and it's like uh it's just interesting because like in my previous profession, I was a truck driver. So anybody that's a CDL holder that's done commercial driving,
Hmm.
especially with trucking, is the hours are similar in the sense to whereas it's like 8 to 14 hours. So it's something that
Hmm.
within that aspect with filming that kind of prepared me for that. So so in a sense it's almost essentially a light work, but even with doing something like this, there's
Hmm.
still I mean, you definitely get some downtime or what have you, because
Right.
it's not something that consistently happens or whatever.
Right.
So so yeah, so it's definitely an experience, and long hours are usually the norm. But but
Hmm.
yeah, but
Absolutely being on set.
but it's definitely not easy in that aspect, and so it's definitely a lot of hours with that.
I
A lot of
know for
time.
sure. Like
hmm
14, that's about as long as I think I've been on set. So it
hmm
can extend longer than that depending on the project.
hmm
But let me ask you this: like, what can we see next from you? Like, because we're gonna revisit like from some time from now to get updates from you or whatever based on your journey. Like, what can we see next from you? Like, what do you expect to happen? What are your goals, aspirations? We need to create productions, or even in general, like, what should we like see from you next? Like, what you got going on next or in place?
So in spite of all that I have done within the past few years, I'm still in a lot of ways. I'm still very much at the beginning of things because you know because I am even I'm still trying to seek out present not present what's representation, and
Yeah.
in terms of like the agency and such.
Agency, right.
But there's some stuff that I have to kind of to situate before that can happen anyway. But
Hmm.
do there is stuff in the works and some things mentioned that is forthcoming. There's some stuff that I had filmed for that has yet to be put out there,
Hmm.
and even in terms of the background work or whatever. Uh, so and one thing is that I definitely put things out there when um, whenever things come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, other than this, Corn and the things that I mentioned, I would say, I'm just continuing at it. So these are things to look forward to, including, of course, whenever once we get started doing House of Tea, and
Hmm.
and even moving forward with Chicago Boogie,
Yes.
and then also Danielle's entitled project.
Right.
So yeah, and there's actually a series that I recently worked on for another filmmaker. He was popular here, Mr. Billy Ray Valentine, and
Hmm.
and the name of that series is called Mr. Hard Times.
Okay.
So yeah, so I got some things that is in the works. Also, oh, I know something else I was going to mention. So and you know about Disney in particularly. Um, there's a film that I did that's out, Soldier from Birth, and
Yes.
on in the works of it, putting it out there on the streaming service.
Okay.
So looking at Tubi, possibly.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll come into fruition for all to see. So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Man, you
So
got a lot. You got a lot going on, Aaron. You got a lot to fill you for the last few years, and you're gonna be getting blessed on top of blessings with what you already have. So it's gonna triple and quadruple for you.
yes, absolutely. So I definitely am grateful and appreciative of the opportunities that have been bestowed upon me, and the individuals that um throughout this I guess you could say journey or adventure, struggle, what have you,
Hmm.
uh that I have came across, and so yeah, I'm just, especially with the lull of time that passed or whatever. I'm definitely grateful, especially when I came in at a time during the pandemic or whatever. So, and
Hmm.
dealing with everything that brought about some challenges during that time, and even with the stuff like most recently the different strikes that happened and all that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely am extremely grateful, and especially even just to represent in terms of here, the Chicago, because there's a lot of things that's going on here that's on the
Yeah.
mend in terms of film and TV production.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Absolutely. And then before we end this podcast for this evening, what advice will you give to creatives out there that are up and coming, or even they've been out there, but what advice would you give them as well?
Um, well, I would say generally, because being a creative is very open ended, so it definitely it helps in terms of networking, and now using social media as a
Hmm.
tool, and pending what it is that you're trying to do, just to continue to work and hone in on your craft, and any sort of training that you may have to do, even if that involves some sort of schooling, college, or, etc. To definitely to work on that and to engage with professionals that have done it before you in terms of to essentially help you into the right direction and path
Hmm.
of what it is that you want to and that you're trying to do, and essentially to try to have an open mind
Hmm.
and just continue to just push forward and to work at it, basically.
Absolutely, and stay consistent. And then
Yes.
I know we were getting ready to wrap up, but we do have a question from the audience out there. Someone out there is asking, what about your singing? Because you are a singer, and I've heard you sing before, Aaron, I believe.
Yeah. Well, uh, at this point, when it comes to singing, I mean, it's something that uh that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at this point, I would say that I could probably, and I've done it before. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, in terms of like possibly in the future doing a musical. I mean, Cabaret was one of those, and so
Yeah.
I actually even this is some time ago, but I did a production of Dreamgirls and all that. But
Really?
yeah, that was like high school, But uh, so so yeah, and that is something that I could possibly, when it comes to that, possibly seeing
Mhm.
myself doing it in terms of film and theater offhand.
Right.
So yeah,
Well,
but
let me know, Aaron.
yeah.
Let me know when you're ready to start singing again so we can bring you over to the other side of Nita K Productions for the musical side. Because, like, you have a great voiceover voice, and I'm sure you have a great singing voice, especially if you've done a cabaret. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely appreciate it. I mean, but yeah, that's pretty much my extent. I mean, I guess you never say never, but um, like if in terms of being like a music recording artist, I mean, that's I don't know if that's something that's really something that's at the forefront for me. So
Right.
the path that I'm currently on is what it is that I'm on. So
Right.
and
Which is
and my,
filming.
yeah, and so filming in filming TV theater, and so if that's something that where music is incorporated with that, which it always is, just in
Right.
general, because it's a pivotal part of film and TV. But
Right.
then then that is something that I would probably more so would be pursuant of.
Right. It would have to be in the realm of theater or film, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing about this industry when it comes to film and TV and theater. You can incorporate music within that. So it's like an open field for film, TV, and theater.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Especially with the most recent, this weekend, Wicked came out as a film, so that's been
Mm-hmm.
the popular theater production that's been around
On for
for some
years.
time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's definitely cool to see that it's actually been made into a film, and so hopefully that'll be something I'll be able to see sooner or later. But yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness. But I do thank you for coming in this evening on the podcast, Aaron. It was great having this conversation and experience with you going down your path and your journey and allowing our audience to listen to your path and your journey and experience as well. I do want to thank you and appreciate you for being one of our brand ambassadors and being a dedicated just person in general with Nita K Productions, which we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary. And you
Yes,
have been
yes.
a part of us for quite some time. I do want to thank you for taking the time out for doing this with me. I appreciate your love and support. And I want to tell you thank you for listening to my advice, believing in me, and being there in general. Like overall, I do appreciate you. I
Hmm.
do want to tell you that. And for the audience out there, I do want to thank you guys for the love and support as well. I am Nita K. N, the I, the T, the A, the K. I had Aaron Yates this evening on our podcast. Stay tuned for our next podcast in the next 2 weeks. If you guys have any other questions or concerns, you know how to reach me. You can reach me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and at our phone number at 872-257-8402. Aaron, before we close this podcast out, I do want to let everybody know how they can reach you. Can you go ahead and give them that information of how they can reach you?
Yes, yeah, you can definitely reach me throughout social media. My preferred go-to is Facebook, so you can just look me up, Aaron Yates on Facebook. So, and uh, let's see, Instagram, which I have to start changing my handles, but uh, it's Delta U Man, and also you can I would say just go to Facebook because that actually has everything. So I have different
Mm-hmm.
handles, and so that's something I have to work on. But
Right. No,
yeah,
that's okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Basically, Facebook.
yes, Facebook.
Yes, and then they can also reach you too with Nita K Productions if they go to our website at www.nitakproductions with an S.com. You'll see Aaron's
Yes,
information on there as well because your Facebook handle is on there, your Instagram handle is on there as well. It's on the
yes,
page of
correct.
the brand ambassador, so they can reach out to you that way too. But other
Hmm.
than that, they can reach you on Facebook at Aaron Yates. That's Yates.
Hmm.
And then if you guys need to reach out to Nita K Productions, we are on Instagram and Facebook, NITAK Productions with an S. On Facebook, it's with a Z. If you guys have any questions, don't be shy, want to be interviewed, all those sorts of things, don't hesitate to reach out to us. I want to thank you guys again for listening. It's at the top of almost at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. I want to thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for our next episode on Nita K Productions Behind the Scenes. Bye.
Good night, y'all. Bye.